The Spyderco Manta 2 is an overlooked attempt to update some venerable designs from Spyderco with modern materials and features. But are there reasons why it's overlooked? In this initial review, we'll take a close look at the design and compare it to some of Spyderco's favorites. When the Manta series was released, it was clear in Eric Glesser's interviews that this was a bit of a remix attempt. And honestly, when you see the knife folded, the lines of the handle are the strongest evidence that this is of the sort. Side by side, the knives definitely appear to be sort of knives cut from the same design. The Manta 2 and the Manta 1 are very similar in specs. There are slight differences, with the Manta 2 having an ever so slightly longer blade and handle length. But really, these are two different takes, thanks probably to Eric Glesser's interest in the series to update the Delica. And what you get is a very European line brought to the overall Delica shape with the handle, and modernized materials such as a Crucible M4 steel, a very high-end tool steel that is known for its exceptional toughness, hardness, and edge retention. Of course, what drew attention to this knife is that it is the titanium framelock ball bearing washer flipper that everyone imagined the Delica would be so well upgraded to. But nevertheless, there are some problems. First of all, as you can see, the ball bearing washers have not been something that Spyderco's fully sorted out. But aside from this one glaring technical detail, are there other flaws that might be noteworthy in this knife? Certainly there's no flaw in the fit and finish of the beautifully constructed Taiwan knife with its beautiful deep carry clip and beautifully sculpted flipper, right? Well, the problem is that Spyderco still hasn't really perfectly nailed the flipper design, and losing the Spidey hole, which, by the way, I'm going to return to, is a definitive Spyderco trait, you are left with a knife that has pretty mediocre flipping action. I mean, I've flipped Kershaw's or even CRKTs that have much better action for a fraction of the price. We are, after all, talking about a knife that sells for about $175, and it seems like the main appeal of the Manta 2 specifically is that it sort of refined and simplified some of the lines of the Delica into something more elegant, and given you that opportunity to enjoy the titanium framelock flipper experience, which unfortunately just doesn't deliver. The truth is that the Delica 4 itself is a very design-forward knife, but with a different sense of the word. Yes, it lacks a lot of the refinement of the Manta 4. Notice, for example, the blade tang sticking out, or the fact that I'd have to replace the pocket clip with this Casey Lynch deep carry pocket clip. But the Spyderco Delica has certain things going for it that are setting it apart from the Manta 4. Yes, the lockback isn't as nice. Yes, the FRN handles isn't as good. Yes, you might be concerned about the very thin tip on the Delica. All these concerns notwithstanding, the Spyderco Delica 4 is a paradigmatic user knife, and it is even reflected in Spyderco's philosophy. Spyderco touts its CQI, its continuous quality improvement, and in that philosophical design approach, what it's doing is continuously seeing how it can improve a design that has been proven to work. And while the Manta 4 has a number of things going for it that do make it a pleasure to carry and use, such as the pocket clip and the almost fillet-like flow of the blade, as a user, it just doesn't compare to the Delica. It seems more like a design exercise to me in the end. Or is it completely unfair to compare a knife of half price to this Manta 4? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'd appreciate your subscription if you're new to the channel. The Spyderco Manta 2 of this review was provided by CampingSurvival.com. I'd like to thank them for the knife and for allowing me to maintain complete independent journalistic integrity in the course of this review.